Hey, 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 some of us are back.
Best part of the season.
All right, we are recapping episode 2 of season 2 of The Way Home today. Yeah, we say this every time. If you've made it this far in this recap journey with us, you know the gist. Sven, give it to him.
Yep. Spoilers alert. Spoiler alert.
Spoilers alert.
Spoilers alert. Plenty of spoilers. We will be recapping season two, episode two, along with how it ties into every episode following it. We will talk about things that happen in season three. So once again, if you have not watched it to this point, please stop this video, go watch it all, and come
GTFO.
back. We'll be here. All
Maybe
the
consider
episodes.
watching it on Netflix.
Yep, there was
Yeah.
that big announcement that we saw this week. This show is picked up by Netflix, so let's hope it expands the audience even more.
Totally.
Mhm.
Um,
We got some updates from a couple of the crews' Instagram stories today or yesterday, something recently. They're doing season 1 and 2 starting October 1st. Season 3 is coming September, February 2026. Then they drop this little detail in the caption. Season 4 is late 2026 after airing early 2026 on Hallmark. So we get a little confirmation there that yes, we are going to get season 4 in the earlier months. I don't know how it could be January if they are like still filming.
I bet I wonder if they time it up to happen after season three on Netflix.
Oh. So
Oh,
season 3 is starting February 2026.
So that would be
That's
no,
10 weeks.
mid-April. That would be April then.
Well, that's not early
So
anymore.
that's not early. Maybe
that
they'll
is
just
so.
go alongside it. Who
I like
knows?
the idea though.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody has like all the cast social media, especially the young ones. You know we love the young ones here. Um,
Mhm.
the teenage version of the characters. Let me clarify that, please, just to make sure that things
Are
are.
you are Moody Augustine with your weird relationships with
Don't get me
youngsters?
started with him. He's back
No.
in this episode, getting his word, like having his words get him into those sticky situations with just innocent bystanders. Um, don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, the young ones, all the little tweeny bopper friends are posting on their social media, like pictures from set and pictures with each other, and it's just getting me all excited about season 4.
Great. Hmm. Very excited.
All right, but season 2,
Season
episode
two.
2.
Episode two.
We get the flashback and all this stuff. We see how crazy episode 1 was. And the first thing that caught my attention, not sure if I'm like jumping ahead too far, was Alice and Kat go jumping. They're like, let's go find Jacob.
Hmm.
And Kat goes one way, Alice goes another way. And Alice stumbles upon Elliot,
Just happens to be hanging out at the pond.
but he's distraught. Like he has some intense emotions. And I instantly had to stop and be like, okay, where are we on the timeline? Why is he acting like this? What's the deal? Elliot, you're like really intense right now.
Hmm. Everyone's gone.
Timeline Master Sven, what was going on?
It's well, he says it later on in the episode that it's the worst summer of his life. Um, Colton died recently. Jacob's gone. Kat ran off to college with Brady. We assume Vic is AWOL again,
Mm.
probably down in Mexico again.
Which could be a good thing in some ways,
So
but
yeah, so everything that's been close to him with Vic gone, he leaned on Colton as a father. Colton's gone. Jacob has been gone. That destroyed their family and
Yeah.
just their good time in the summer. Um, and now Kat's gone after the incident at Lingermore.
Which they hint at.
Yeah, and so she runs off with Brady, and he's just left there by himself, still in the barn all by himself. So he's
mm,
starting to feel it a little bit. And he knows a lot of his future. And he knows he doesn't end up with Kat. He knows he, had. that Brady and Kat get married and have Alice.
Yeah,
He
this is the
knows
first
all of
round of
these
that.
things, and it's just it finally ate him up. It got him.
Poor guy.
Mm.
Yeah, we definitely see that throughout the entire episode. Hence the name Mr. Moody Augustine.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he's just like real snippy, real pissy with Kat and Alice about all this time traveling stuff and is like so taken aback, so offended, so
But I have to defend Elliot a little bit here because Alice just came for him.
Hmm.
She just let him have it. She can't believe he's done this, he's done that, he's been mean to her, and he wasn't there for them. And, you know, he went through a lot also. Granted, Colton wasn't his actual father, so he didn't go through it on that level. He didn't witness it happen, but he warned them not to do that because what good was it gonna come of that? As we saw, nothing, and it made it worse for them because now they actually saw it happen.
yeah,
Um, and they really kind of rip Elliot apart, and he's been dumped on this whole time. He even said at one point, and I have that as a quote, he says, "I'm not the Giles to your Buffy," which is a callback to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And Giles, helping her along, explaining what's going on,
mm,
how she is, what she is. And he doesn't want to be that anymore. He his life was basically laid out in front of him. He didn't have a lot of say in it because he knew it was going to happen. And he lost all those people just like everybody else did. Who was
yeah,
there for him?
Hmm.
Nobody. He was
Yeah.
by himself. His dad was always gone.
yeah,
Dell wasn't really gonna, she was still gonna be nice to him just because that's the way she is and with him. But Kat was gone. Jacob was obviously gone. He had
mm,
nobody. Nick
totally.
was where Nick, he's already wandering off on the yachts of the rich and famous. And,
Yeah.
he's by himself.
Hmm.
And you just really see him like revert back to like a teenager mentality when he is like forced to relive that like fear of like losing things, losing people. And oh, excuse me, with how he reacts as an adult to all of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and you just get that reminder of that was really tough for him.
But I just constantly felt bad every time Alice kind of destroyed him. Like,
Yeah.
Ellie didn't even,
Uh-huh.
doesn't even care. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that.
Yeah.
She did at one point, and we'll talk about this later, kind of realize, hey, you know what? This actually is my fault.
Uh,
Hmm.
And Elliot and her kind of getting an argument when, well, he did when he said he doesn't want to see her again. And I'm jumping ahead too a little bit, and I
yeah,
apologize. But uh, I thought at that moment Alice was gonna realize, okay, I see it from his point of view, but she never tried. There was no empathy there for him
yeah,
of what he went through.
yeah,
And and like I said before, we talked about this in the last episode when he wandered off. He could have handled it differently. He could have said,
totally.
what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it, this is where I'm going. But he didn't. He just bailed. Well, they call it bailed. I don't think he bailed. He just took off.
He's just living for himself. It's like
Right.
I feel like the one time, like even you said something about like he doesn't want to know or be a part of this anymore. And I thought to myself, like, did he ever really want to be a part of it? Like as a kid, as an adult, it's just like being like the nice guy, being the helpful one, being the smart one, so observant. Like you get roped into those things, and you're
Like
just
within
like,
the family.
oh, the one time I speak up for myself and say no, everyone gets offended, you know? So
Right.
it's like, I don't really think he did anything wrong either. Yeah, like we said last episode, he could have done a little differently, but like when you're already at that point, like dude, I've been pushed around enough. It's like, kind of have to make a scene for you guys to maybe take this seriously. Like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. So
Yeah,
I'm with you a little bit. And it was annoying even when, like, I'm always like Team Alice, of course, but there is a lot that I'm just like, check yourself, like,
Yeah,
just for a second. And like,
exactly.
when she says, even later, I don't know how late it was in the episode. She's like, you can be mad at me. I think when she gains that empathy a little bit and like understanding of her role, but then she's like, don't be mad at my mom. But I'm like, We can a little bit. I mean,
Right.
Kat has her character arc like throughout the episode where I was really proud of her at the end. We'll get there. But like I was like, I don't
It,
know.
yeah.
Both in the same boat right now.
It made me think back to the very first episode when Alice met Teen Elliot, and she said, "Dude, you're gonna be my science teacher, blah blah blah. You know, in the future, you're great." And that look on his face was like, that was the start. He just, from that point on, he knew what was gonna happen.
Hmm.
And you could tell at that point he was struggling with it and how he's gonna handle it. And I think in this episode, it just came to a head when he says, "I don't want you here. Go away. I don't want ever want to see
Oof.
you." Which was a little harsh, but
It was harsh for sure.
we
Yeah.
see
That was
later on
all.
they kind of make
All
up.
just messy.
So, but
Yeah.
anyway,
Um,
go on.
all right. So the gals get split up in the water. Alice ends up with this like never-ending battle with Elliot throughout the whole episode that gets started at the beginning.
Can I interrupt you?
Yeah.
Can I say one point about this before it, because this is right where we're at when they get separated, and Kat ends up in 1814 and Alice ends up in 2000. Why did Alice freak out so much when her mom wasn't there? Like she knew, they know that when they jump in the pond, it takes them to where the pond needs them to be, basically, even though she doesn't want to hear that again. But why did she like panicked,
Was that
cried,
the first time
screamed,
that they
"Where is
jumped
she?
in
Oh, I
together?
can't find her." It's like she's somewhere traveling. You know that. You know this from this pond. So it just struck me that all of a sudden this is the one where the whole episode she, "Where is she? Where is she? Where'd she go? Where's my mom? I can't find her. Elliot, I can't find my mom." You know, it's like give it a
Hmm.
give it some time. You'll find her.
Was that her first time jumping since Colton?
Well,
No, since the funeral,
Mm-hmm.
I think so because that's when they decided not to go anymore.
And have they ever jumped in together and gotten separated prior to that?
I don't think so, but still, it's like she has to, and something has got to tell her, "Hey, I've jumped by myself all these times. I've gone and done these things.
hmm.
Maybe mom's doing them now. Maybe she's going and doing things,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
wait till she comes back and then talk to her, and talk about her wound."
She won't though because it's no big deal.
Okay, is that what we want to hear?
Hannah
Have that one
is
on.
a healer.
So,
Um,
but yeah, so I that just really, I don't know. I guess I'm playing the downer to Alice on this episode.
yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
I don't mean to.
Careful, we're gonna get protective.
She's
Sadie,
still
I
a
know you're
teenager.
doing a good job, and that's great. I mean, the actress is making me feel this way because she's obviously doing something right,
Hmm.
but it just really feels like, come on, you're a little more experienced at this
Yeah.
now. You
This
should
isn't your first rodeo.
give it a little time and a little, but anyways, I digress. Back to you.
She's feeling some
Back
feels.
to you, Mr. Moody.
Everybody's feeling feels. Yeah, so we find out Kat has been shot. She's being taken away by two mysterious, very intense strangers who I forgot were made to seem so scary in this episode.
Yeah.
Like they are the bad
Well,
guys.
look at my background.
Like it's just like wild to me.
It's so
I
funny.
forgot that that's how they started out.
Right? Like Susanna, it's like, you seem so dangerous. And she even had the line of like, why would I save you
Why
if I
would I
wanted to
heal you
kill
and then just try
you?
and kill you?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Why are you acting like you're about to? Like, I'm not making this
Right?
up.
You're also already in love with me. Love at first sight.
I mean,
Um,
she walked into her space, and the first thing Cat backs away. The first thought in Susanna's mind is, "Do you think I'm gonna kill you?" Like, wow, tough
and
times.
acting in a way that would
Right? I
make you
know.
do that. Yeah.
Was that how it really was?
Um, I still don't know like what the whole Thomas shooting her thing is so bizarre to me. Especially when we find out later that he's claiming he was like hunting a deer or something like that.
Right.
Lies.
Thomas
Well,
the
I
Hunter.
think I always thought it was because he saw her come out of the pond and it was like,
Was
you were
spooked.
not there. What? You're something messed up.
Yes, yes, yes,
Thought
yes.
it was to shoot. Say it was, you thought it was a deer, so you don't have to reveal that she came out of the pond to Susanna until he understands it a little
Ah.
bit more.
Good way
Um,
to look at that. Nice.
Not that
that
I
is really
condone this violence, but or whatever, like it's messed up, but gave us a good scene, but weird,
yeah, I feel that.
very strange.
So yeah, Cat's taken away by the two creepers, essentially. And you got the lead creeper like working to heal her and in and out of her fever dreams. She's like, oh, gotta get it out of here from the creepers. She tries to escape and passes out. It's just like
Oh my God, when she passes out in front of everyone, I was just like, I know this is you're unwell and I should be sensitive to this, but part of me just laughed.
but
She
also I would try and get away from the creepers too. It's a scary
right.
Right?
movie.
Get out.
She did catch a
God.
glimpse of the 1814 Farmer's Almanac, though. So
Mm,
now we know where when she's at.
That thing made some appearances.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, like you mentioned, like Alice is freaking out, mom's missing. She knew right away something wasn't right. She's not coming home for bedtime. And of course, snide little Dell comes in and starts talking smack. Um, and Alice just it's
Oh,
one of the things that just like stood out so much is how effortlessly these two can cover for each other and just
mhm.
like tap in, tap out. Dell starts sniffing around for trouble, and Alice is like, "Oh no, she's out of town. Had to do some research. Ended up having to stay." And then, of course, Dell's got some snarky little comment. Did anyone get that one down?
For a
I did not,
newspaper
but
editor, communication is not her strong point.
yeah. I didn't write that down because I knew you guys would hit on that one, especially with how
He's
Dell is
so
always
rude.
about her work.
Also, little does she know your daughter was shot.
Right? But also,
Remember, just remember this quote later on in this episode when we talk about Dell's visit to the Herald.
okay.
Okay,
Okay.
just remember that.
I have a side note. I mean, I don't even know when it happened, but Dell getting all cocky and confident, like with Kat's career and whatnot. Apparently, Dell went province wide with her honey, and something about that blew my mind. But they don't have any crops like being sold, apparently. Why don't you like do the vegetables or whatever it was, the produce they're growing? Can't you make that province wide in addition to your honey? And I'm like, didn't you just start the honey last episode? We've been like doing crops since forever. Landry soil to find out.
No, remember Elliot was gone?
No.
Elliot was gone for what, 7 months or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when she
Oh,
started
okay.
the
Get
expansive
it. Okay. That makes me feel a
honey
little bit
But
farm.
better.
still, province wide, those provinces
Province
are
wide.
huge up there.
But
Yeah.
then, yeah, I was like, what? But then, like, whatever crops you're been growing to
Yeah.
sell, like, what are you doing with those? Nothing? Or is it totally separate when they're talking about like crops for kindness is limited to those little buckets, the
Well,
big
she leases
yard?
out that farming land, so I don't think she's doing anything with the crops, right?
Okay.
Right.
She's got to just be
Okay.
making bank off of like leasing
Right.
the land to the farmers, but the farmers are dealing with the crops.
She
She's
Yeah.
wants to do something with them
oh
now that she has to do something with them.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. It all just goes over my head. And I was like, honey is already that successful. I just lost it.
Yeah, so Susie gets kitty cat girl back to bed, thank goodness. And continues to like heal her wounds. And again, we're just the overemphasis of them being so creepy and scary and the bad guys and like they're holding her hostage and they're holding her captive is just like so ramped up in all of those 1814
Hmm.
flashbacks while she's on her healing bed.
Right? But it works. It draws you in. It's like, I'm scared for her. Oh
I'm
my,
so scared.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, then Dell comes sniffing around again. And it's just like, she's not back, huh? Interesting. And just like a sweet little granddaughter, Alice is like, oh, where are you going? And again, she comes back with another burner.
I didn't write that one down, but
I
she's
like that
like,
one though.
I
I
wrote
don't
this
need
one
to
down.
report. Just like my daughter, I don't need to report back about where I am or something.
Since when am I the only person who has to check in around here? I can come and go as I please, just like Catherine.
That's it, Catherine. I remember Catherine, and she always,
What are you so mad about?
oh, that's so rude.
That almost sounded like a projection of her being mad because she doesn't know where everybody's at all times.
You never, yes, you never have tabs on anybody.
So that passive aggressive comment flying.
So
I bet
passive
Rita knows.
aggressive. She's like, yikes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, then Deli Girl goes to Elliot and talks about her plans for going to do a community farm and all this stuff. Shares her like deepest secrets with him. And Elliot shares a little secret with her.
This is a introduction to another character. Um, I think they're setting it, if we're talking about the same thing,
Yes, we are.
where he tells Dell that he visited Vic in Mexico. And for all of you in the know, because we've all seen it so far, Vic is Elliot's father, who is gone for long chunks of time. And I think just by bringing up his name and that he went and saw him is telling us he's coming on this season,
A
which
little
he does.
foreshadowing.
He will. So, spoiler. Oops. Anyways,
I love how Dell calls him Victor.
yeah. How is Victor?
How did
Say.
he end up in Mexico? Do we know that?
A little seemed a little off brand for him as well.
I They talk about it later. I think he talks about it when he comes to there later on this season. But it's
Didn't
not
it?
that big of a point and it's not that good
Okay.
as Morocco. It's not as intriguing.
Nothing for us to really
No.
get
Grasp
hooked
onto.
on.
And do we want to? I mean, I think Alice said it better at one point, and I'm sorry if I'm spoiling somebody's quote when she's arguing with Elliot. She says, "Stop with the theories." That made me think of us and all of our theories.
Theories.
I knew that
Uh-huh.
quote.
Stop with the theories.
But they like within all the theories talk and within like the yapping between Alice and Elliot in this episode, Alice fills him in and she's like, okay, yeah, we know where Jacob is. Like, we gotta go find him. Also, Finn can time travel, and Elliot's over there just like, "Pfft,
Yeah.
what?
And
Yeah,
he said something um finally, like we've always been wondering, like, how did nobody think that Jacob went
That
into the
Jacob went in
pond?
the pond.
And he
right.
does say like he had considered it or like it crossed his mind, but I think he was apparently so set on this rule of like what he thought he knew about the pond. And then I think that whole like Finn time travels and oh, Jacob is in the pond, it like contradicts those theories or that one thing that he thought. That I guess he just didn't think it was possible. And I still was just like, not good enough. I'm not buying it. Like, you guys, somebody should have known he was in the pond between him and Colton. But
Right.
at least he like acknowledged it for us. Like, okay.
Now that
Elephant in the
I'm
room.
I'm seeing more and more and how Kat figured it out, why didn't not only Colton and Elliot, but Kat and Alice have thought that more,
Yeah.
like earlier? Like,
Yeah. Right. I don't know. It's
I
Because
mean,
then
as
we don't have
viewers,
a
we all thought it
show.
right away, right?
right. He's in the pond. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, but then it's like really funny because Alice decides like she's jumping back into the pond. She's gonna go do her thing. She looks directly at Finn, and Finn gets a whole screenshot all to himself. She's like, "Don't you dare follow me." Finn's like, "So what if I do? What are you gonna do about it?
Right. You don't know where I've been.
Right.
You
I
don't know the
got
things I've
friends
done.
in the 30s that I need to go see."
Uh-huh.
Bark, bark.
Right.
I
Let
thought that
him
was really cute
live.
though.
He's the one who started all of this. He
Right.
knows what he's doing.
He's the one that started it
Like,
all.
maybe you should actually jump in the pond with me instead of your mom, and I'll take you where you need to
And
go.
I'll
When
show
is
you some
that
crazy.
gonna happen?
In the fin off,
The
the
fin
spin-off
off.
The
fin-off.
fin off.
The
Uh-huh.
fin off. Kendra, you're so punny. Oh my gosh.
I've said that probably in like majority of the episodes we've been recording, but
I
you
just love
know,
it.
right?
No, have you?
Uh-huh.
Comment down below if, how many
Roll the
times you think she
tapes.
said that.
Because Kelly even said, "Oh my gosh, that's so clever," one time. And I was like,
Probably 5 times.
right. But it's nice to be reminded of how great of an idea it is.
That's what I'm here for.
Wait, did you say fin off? That's so funny.
Right? Anyway,
Anyway,
what's next?
Um, so Alice goes back, leaves Finn behind. Finn's like, cool, whatever. I didn't even want to time travel with you. I'm over that phase in my life. Go away.
Hmm.
Um, and she comes up and we see this is the time when like Elliot really lashes out. And we see Alice have like her first like not like a timeout, but like a pushback from the pond that's like, mm-mm, you can't leave. You gotta stay here. And like she jumps in after Elliot's like, gone, get out of here. I'm done with you. You've ruined my life. Toodaloo, adios. She jumps in that pond and the pond spits her right back out and is like, mm-mm, you shall not pass.
right. And in
Hmm.
true color fashion for Elliot, he sees her struggling and then sees her come out of the water and she's crying. And you know he feels bad and he's going to go say something.
Totally.
They don't show us that scene, but then they show us those two together at the cove.
With the MP3 player that holds 25 songs.
So
Yeah.
cute.
That's
Okay.
it.
And I'm sorry, get, I don't know, it's just weird. But I get so grossed out by certain things in this world. One of them is people that share earbuds. Ugh.
Kind of gross.
When I saw that, I was like, no, don't put that in your ear.
Okay.
Just got to put it
I
lightly.
got a little distracted when they pulled out the MP3 player because I the episode title Hanging by a Moment caught my attention as I was playing it and I was like, "Man, I love that song."
I
It's
thought that was going to play right there.
I thought that that's what was going to
Right.
play too. But then I was like, "Wait a minute. How often do these song titles actually show up in the
What
episodes?"
do they have to do with anything?
And then I was like, "What do they even have to do with the episodes?"
Right.
And like we know that like Elliot's mixtapes and like that idea of music is just like such an important theme throughout the seasons and stuff like that. But it's like, why that song title for this episode?
And
Yeah.
even if it wasn't the song title, if they were just using that as the title of the episode, it's like I'm trying to figure out where that fit in.
Well, and then I like looked at last week's episode. It was the space between, and I'm like, there's no Dave Matthews in this
They
episode,
didn't play that song, did
you
they?
know?
Yeah.
So I
Interesting.
Unless if our Canadian viewers can tell us if any of those songs were in there, because I know here in the States there's different
oh,
licensing, and depending on where the show is being broadcast, like on what platform, like Hallmark, Netflix, Paramount, or whatever, they have different licensing of what they can play.
I know what show you're thinking about and why you know this.
I'll say it
Dawson's
right
Creek.
now, Dawson's
Dawson's
Creek.
Creek.
So they had a theme song that went on for years, but
Oh
then
yeah.
when it went to streaming and the DVD box set, they changed the theme song because they couldn't afford the rights to that song anymore, and that couldn't be played in certain venues, like certain streaming things and stuff. They didn't have the licensing for it. So I wonder if any of these songs, like The Space Between, Hanging by a Moment, if these are played in other countries.
Interesting. That's a
So
great
comment
thought.
down below if you guys have heard those songs.
We'll
Those of
hold
you
on
that
to
are
that
from
question
Canada.
for when we get to interview the writers. Add it
Yeah,
to
and
the
I'm
list.
curious to see if any of the songs or music changes up when it hits Netflix.
Yeah.
So we'll have to check that out.
Hmm. We'll have to go back, rewatch every
And
episode.
I have the ability, don't tell my Netflix people, but of watching Netflix in other countries. So I can watch the Canadian Netflix
Oh.
and see if it if that changes, but we'll report on
Interessante.
that later. But anyways,
Okay.
yeah, you're right. I was waiting for that song, and it did not hit, and that would have been
Doom,
so
doom, doom,
good at that
doom,
point.
doom, doom,
Yeah.
doom, doom. Um, okay, so while they're having their moment and we're all wondering about why these songs are mentioned but not included, we go back to the 1814 time and Catgirl is healed. Susanna's witchery and witchcraft music, gosh, super have healed Cat and brought her back.
So good that she decides to run away a second time.
Being chased
And
by this man
she
right
gets
here.
out and someone's after her.
Oh,
And
wait a minute, but also who shows up in the town square with her?
Cyrus Goodwin.
That
Listen,
guy,
High-town.
He
I've
was
never
fresh.
been introduced to somebody more full of themselves.
I don't. I mean, every family's got weird people. They aren't all alike, but I'm like, you're not a good one. That is
Yeah.
not Evie's great, 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 great. They don't share any DNA.
No.
Like, this is
I
weird.
can't. But
Um,
whew, as she's got her like hunter tracking her and the town like leader who's in love with himself, all after her, who comes in to save this girl?
Stallion
Susie!
in shining armor
He just
I owe
yanks her up with
Silver.
one arm, like one swift scoop, and she's like, come on.
in her night dress. It's all too much. And
It's
that's where
also
the
like,
love affair starts.
And that look from Cyrus watching them ride off, he's just like, what the
that's my future wife.
just happened?
Uh-huh. I must. Oh.
Those witch women. But yeah, again, like I just think about from the writer's perspective, like, what were y'all doing where you came up with this idea?
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
know, she's gonna get shot when she gets out of the pond, and then she's gonna be brought into this basement-like cellar and brought back to heal, and they have to hide her because they don't quite know who and what she is. Then she's gonna get the energy to run out of the town square, and her hunter tracks her down, and then the town mayor comes in, but the witchcraft witch healer lady comes in. So, like, where did you guys get these
You know
ideas?
what?
Right.
I know you were kind of like emphasizing the jest of that. Like, where did you come up with this? I'd watch that. If I didn't already watch it, that's a good show.
But
Yeah.
where did they come up with it?
Right. A part of me wonders, like, I know we've been curious about like Thomas Coyle and like his fate, who he actually like is linked to because it's Jasper is the only person we know. That's still a cliffhanger with like we think he was
At the beach.
flying back to this time. But it's like in this moment where they're revealing, like, okay, we have an Augustine, we have the Landrys, we have Goodwin all being here, and we don't really know what that means yet. But then we also have Coyle. So it's like, why?
He
Why
is
all of
here
them
in the
at once?
beginning.
Who
Yes.
is this fourth like pillar
Yes.
of Port Haven?
Well, and like those conversations are brought up like in the 1814 time, but then they're also being brought up like with the founding fathers book that they find in Evie's house and stuff when they go to the
Mhm.
estate sale. And Elliot drops like the quiet flex, like, yeah, Samuel Augustine, my ancestor wrote that. And
I
it's
lost
like
it.
those conversations are happening in both timelines,
Right.
Mhm.
Now, do you
and the
remember?
Coil man is a part of it.
Do you want the spoiler alert? Spoiler
Yes.
alert. Do we remember who Samuel Augustine is?
No.
Isn't it Susanna under
It's
a pen name?
Susanna. Remember, she couldn't use her own name because they wouldn't let a
Oh
woman write a book.
my gosh.
Mhm. That's why I laughed so hard. I was like,
Yeah.
Samuel.
I forgot about that.
So
Yes.
that book is actually written by Susanna. And
Hmm.
we know, well, we won't throw total spoilers, but we know what's going to happen on the
Shut
rewrite
up. I
book.
completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Because
Another
right when I
deep.
heard that, I thought, Samuel, who?
Oh my gosh, you
And
guys.
Bishop.
Sam Bishop. That's what I thought of right at first. And I went, oh, no, wait a minute. That's Susanna. That's Samuel Good Augustine.
Or is it?
Yeah.
Theory time.
No more
Samuel and
theories.
Susanna are the same person.
Yeah.
Samuel
Ah.
Bishop. Okay, my favorite thing, I think of this whole episode, a thing that made me laugh almost as hard as Kendra's reenactment of Kat going down in the pond, um, is how many times everyone is saying what the hell in 1814.
I didn't notice that once.
Oh my gosh, I counted. It's like four times.
For
Who
real? I didn't even
did
notice it
it?
Kat's like,
either.
what the hell? Blah, 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 blah. And Susan's like, what the hell? Blah, 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 blah. And
I
they're
need
just
to
like,
go
back and
back and
forth. I'm like,
watch.
this is not a part of the ye old lingo. Maybe it was different in Canada, but
That's
like
where it all started.
teaching fifth grade early like immigration and stuff like that from Europe, like in that social studies standard, I don't
Uh,
think what the hell was in anybody's is the word vernacular
Yeah, vernacular.
at that time.
I did find a WTF in this episode, but that at least was in 2000.
Am I watching this show?
Somebody said that?
No, it's in Elliot's journal that he was reading when Kat burst in on him.
No way.
I paused it, and one of the things was he was like talking about why did Alice come back at this point when Kat left, and then he says WTF question mark exclamation point.
Like writes out the words?
Yeah, no, he just wrote
Just
WTF. He
the
didn't write
Oh
what
my
letters.
the
gosh.
fudge,
Okay.
That's
but
ahead of its time. That
but
wasn't a
just the
thing
fact
in
that it was there was
2000.
funny
You just didn't know those words yet, Kelly? No.
because I don't think
Thrilled.
adult Elliot would probably write WTF, but teen Elliot did. So
He'd actually say it now.
I
No.
thought that was on point. Yeah, he'd actually say, "What the fuck?" Anyway,
That's funny.
Whoa. Um,
Okay. Susie rides into the forest.
yeah, they're dropping like what the hell's left and right.
You take
Uh,
me to the pond.
I like go back and watch it. Go find that scene and
Yeah,
can't
I'm
say
gonna.
it.
I
Um,
have to say that's so funny.
Susie drops her line, why would I heal you if I was going to kill you? And it's like, girl, check yourself. Like, why do you think that? Why do you think I think that?
You're scary.
You're scary.
You love me and you hate me at the same time.
I'm uncomfortable.
And she did kind of aggressively approach her, like when they got off the horse.
Wanna go?
And you see Kat back
Everything.
away, like, "Whoa, personal space."
Uh-huh.
Everything is
Mm.
confusing about her.
I think Susie was just trying to lean in for a hug or something.
Maybe.
Right? And she felt offended. She's like, why are you backing up, man?
I
This is
know.
our time in the woods.
I
We've
felt
got
the vibes,
privacy,
girl. Come on.
right? The men are gone. I just saved you on my stallion named
Danger,
Lightning.
danger.
I just healed you. I have something that cracked me up in this scene. So she's like, oh, she's also getting probably possessive and jealous because she knows that Kat is interested in another woman named Alice because she's calling for Alice in her sleep. But the funny part to me was she was like, you also called for Jacob Landry. And
And that's my man's.
how do you
Right.
know Jacob Landry? But the thing that was so funny to me, for her to know, I mean, I'm assuming, I don't know how many Jacobs, how common the name is these days, but in her sleep, did she say, oh, Jacob Landry? Because how would you know, like, you're talking about my Jacob? Like,
Yeah, I think she mentioned that she did.
she said, she referred to her brother as Jacob Landry and her, like,
Oh, that's right.
while
Yeah,
she's
why would she
because
say that?
we saw her say Alice, where she's like, Alice. And it's
Right.
like, okay. And she's like, who's Alice? Is that the person you're trying to find, your friend, whatever? So then to be like, she could say Jacob, but it's like, I wouldn't connect that as like, oh, I'd just be like, oh, I know a Jacob. But
That
then
is such a funny theory.
Jacob Landry,
Yeah.
Just like,
how
first
do
you
you
already
know
got
him?
a girl.
And that would really put Susanna on edge a little bit because then she would think, like Mr. Moody Augustine there said, that this crazy pond witch lady is coming after her man, the adult Jacob
Mhm.
Landry, which later
Uh-huh.
on. But yeah, I never thought
It
of it
was
like that.
funny.
That's funny. Because
Susie
if
is
she's
kind of
rolling
scary.
around in the stupor and says Jacob Landry, you'd think,
That fever dream was intense, you guys.
Right. Jacob
wooing
Landry.
him. Yeah, that's a good catch. I didn't even think of that.
So Kat gets that confirmation that yes, Jacob Landry is in fact in 1814. But then there's like the awkward tension building, and Kat's like, well, I need to go. Excuse me, please. Finally makes her way back home to her daughter, who hasn't seen her mom in like God knows how long. It's been nights, right?
Yeah.
Was it just one night that she was gone? Like Dell's shunning her and ready to write her off for good. But okay, I'm gonna take it back. The what the hell's got me laughing really hard, but maybe this got me laughing the hardest. This is my quote of the episode. They are reunited, they get back together.
Is
Allison's
it
like,
mine?
oh my gosh, mom. And Kat's like, oh, ow. And she's like, what happened? She's like, are you okay?
That's okay. I got shot.
Yeah. That's okay. I got shot. It's okay.
Yeah. It's just whatever. It's like saying I stubbed my toe. I stubbed my
And
toe. All
Didi, I
right.
got shot.
I got shot.
It's okay. I got shot. That was so funny to me. I
But
was
I
dying.
think they use her aloofness. Like that is so intentional
Hmm.
in her character.
Uh-huh.
You
It's
know,
so
it's
good.
just like not like accidental that that line came out
Right.
that way.
Right?
Somebody was like, this is it. That this is how you have to say it.
That's okay. I got shot.
I was like, okay, I got shot. So whatever.
What?
What's going on? Tell me everything.
But it's healing nice.
It's all healed. I
But
met
when
this
they
witch
showed
woman.
it, I'm like, is that what a gunshot
With
wound
this
looks
this
like? Because
woods
it's
woman
like,
and this really hot hunter guy named Thomas.
There's a hunter, there's a witch woman.
I love her.
I was knocked out for a couple of fortnights.
Not
It
to
was like,
pay Cyrus.
Somebody's gonna paint me at some point. I don't know.
Well, I have questions about that painting when they go to Lingermore, which I think is next in the
yeah.
Yeah.
um there's another thing that another like silly question that I have about just like details of the writing, I guess. Kat buys that painting. Kat buys a painting of herself. How does she
So
say,
on brand.
I want this painting? And they're like, that's you there. Like,
Yeah, she's so worried about Dell seeing it or Elliot, like, oh my
She
God.
thinks
had to
there's
buy
like
it. She's like,
Yeah,
I'm
but what
gonna
about
buy this.
the
And then I was
person
like,
running the sale?
yeah. So I like tried to pay attention. I was like, okay, does Alice like do it for
cause a
her?
scene.
Gets her credit card
Right.
out, says Alice, go buy this something. But then it's like packaged up, and she's like, I got it for the Herald. Don't worry about it, Dell. But it's like someone saw you buy
That you.
everyone knows the Landry family and like, oh, your proposal should get approved because you're Landry. We know your name is Catherine. Like it's on the painting. That's you. So,
Witch woman.
right.
Good detail, Kendra.
That was another one where I was just like, I can't drop it. It's too funny.
God, Kat is unhinged. She puts a painting of herself. We don't even think about who is selling it to her. And then she looks and finds Thomas's gun on the mantle, and she's like,
Like, I
Well,
gotta have that.
I want that too.
is it? See, we always thought that. Is that Thomas's gun or is it Cyrus's gun? Because why would Evelyn have Thomas Coyle's gun?
Great question.
Oh, great
And I would
question.
think that would be Cyrus's gun because remember spoiler, when he gets injured and he's in basically bedridden, that's at Lingermore. So his gun would be there with him, right? I would think.
Totally.
And Thomas takes off to New York, he'd probably take it with him. So
Right,
I
but
think it's just more of
that
a symbol of
Thomas's?
the time and what happened to her.
Okay. Okay.
Because I thought
Right.
about that for a while too. I'm like, wait a minute. How?
Reflective of that quick healing gun wound.
Yeah.
Mhm. Interesting. Yeah. Or
God, we're
maybe
talking about guns more in this episode than I've ever talked about in my entire life.
I know I don't like
I
it.
know.
I know, and we're just laughing about it.
Um,
Good thing we're not showing them so YouTube doesn't censor us.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
maybe theory time. Maybe Thomas Coyle gifted this weapon, this fine weaponry to Evie's family. And I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm just trying to give Thomas Coyle a little bit more meaning.
Right. And they
Maybe they met in
show
Morocco.
Thomas's gun like close up in the episode. So it's like again, that was like a production like intention, like that was done.
I'll have to compare
Like,
the shot
uh,
when
yeah, let us know.
it's
Right?
actually shot, how they show the
That
close up of it.
Yeah.
And
your
then
picture, it looks silver, and that little thing, wasn't it like red and like
like,
had
Wood.
accents?
it seemed like it was more red wood than on Thomas's there.
Hmm.
But
We'll have to look at that.
yeah.
It's like
Um,
the the typewriter all over again, though. We were like,
Oh my God.
that's the typewriter in Danny's
It
house.
was the typewriter.
It completely different,
No, we saw,
right?
they showed us on purpose.
And went back and said
No, no,
it.
no. I thought the typewriter was at the Herald. Like it was an old one from
Oh,
his house,
yeah.
but that one was different than the one they showed us at Danny's house. But the one they do end up showing us at Danny's house, spoiler alert, in season three, um, they really emphasize showing that in the forefront of that shot.
After pointing out that the letters were written on a typewriter with a sticky letter E, like in that same
Yeah.
episode, they like point that out.
So
Mhm.
yeah, I think we'll see more of that.
So Elliot shows up, party pooper, can't decide what he wants with these women. Just like, get out of my life. Hey, I'm here. Go
Mhm.
away. I never loved you. I'm back. Just ping ponging around all over the place. But he shows up at Evie's house and starts to have like his first glimpse of like what happened at Lingermore and that like drama around, oh my gosh, what
The
happened?
scream,
They
the
tell
scream in the background. If I hear it one more time,
they just make it out to be so bad.
And
yeah, we got
see,
so worried.
my 2 cents on this. I'm gonna give them to him whether you want it or not.
Yeah.
As always.
Um, I thought about our conversations we've had about this because we've often talked about Lingermore wasn't that bad. Somebody didn't get murdered. They didn't, burn the
Right.
place down. But when they did the flashback in this episode and some of the stuff you can hear in the background and why Elliot had that look on his face, if you, spoiler alert, if you remember at the Lingermore party, Kat was coming down those stairs ready to leave to
With,
London with Elliot,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
right on the cusp of getting Kat, getting away from everybody, going on their own, just taking off. They were so close, and then Brady walked in.
And
And that's
then
when all the stuff started, the fight and everything and the
Okay.
fountain. But I think it was really rough on him because that was the point where he almost had finally something good that summer. His life was going to be him and Kat were going to take off together. And then Brady came back into the picture.
yeah, it's like Elliot's downfall or something. Um, because that's also when she falls in the spoiler in the pond or whatever, goes to the hospital and finds out
Oh,
she's having Alice. So then it's like, oh, it's officially done for us. I was way up here, now, now I'm down
yeah.
here.
The night.
But I'm wondering, I can't remember now. Anytime we hear those like flashbacky sounds and stuff where it gets so dramatic, is it outside of Elliot's perspective? Because in this episode, it was like it's him having that moment of like, oh. But like the other times, does it center around Kat or is it
I
Elliot
don't know
every
if
time?
how much of like the sound bites that we were like teased with, but like when we get that flashback of Dell going back to talk to Evie at like the coffee shop, and she was like, "You owe me. I
Mm,
just need this to be covered up and forgotten about." It's like, okay, but what happened? And Kat
mm,
always is like, "That night at Lingermore."
Even
mhm.
Monica said that.
Yeah, like there's
Even
always just
Spilsky said it.
that. Wait, really?
No,
No, I
with
was like,
his body
who's that?
language.
He was there at the Y2K party though.
Uh-huh.
With that chain.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, all the things, all those things are happening. But yeah, they really hype up the Lingermore thing to be
They
something.
do. Like,
Um,
so weird. Anyway.
season 2 is so dramatic. But the reason for my name today, emphasizing Mr. Augustine, is because it's one of my favorite things to rag on Elliot and the fact that he's an educator and just does whatever he wants whenever he wants to get himself into these little pickles. And I just sit here like, oh my God, I could never have some class.
Mhm.
Gets himself into a pickle again at the outside of the estate, talking to Alice and sassing at her again. And he just like point blank looks at her and goes, I can't be involved with you
I
or
can't
your mother.
be with you or your mother.
And the people look
I'm like, dude,
He's a master class though at giving that face afterwards. Like,
again. But also, you're at like 6 strikes now, dude. You're
it's
fired.
not the first time.
You need
right.
to come back after that
Thank
sabbatical.
God that the people he said it in front of this time where just some people from another neighboring town don't know he's a teacher.
Yes.
I got to assume at this point, or he'd be in some deep water. But
You or your mother.
right, I mean, like, what the hell, right? Oh,
Right?
Count it. Oh my
Um,
gosh.
so there that makes me wonder, like those stranger people, possibly they're from the next province over or whatever, next town.
Do they need some honey?
Yeah.
they already
The
have it. It's province wide.
We're trying to expand.
It's already province wide. They've got it.
No, we need a different
They need
province.
veggies now.
We need a
All right,
different
sorry,
our
province.
Amy,
our
Susie,
we're
go on.
um what am I saying? Oh yeah. With the things that are going to the Herald, I thought it was all of the belongings in the house, but is it just specific and other things are being sold to the general
Oh, wait a
public?
minute. She didn't have to buy it.
No, she did. But the stuff for the Herald was stuff that Evelyn had already basically earmarked for the Herald.
Hey, okay, okay,
She had
okay.
it
Okay.
boxed up already, and it was going to be like a museum type thing. So
The
she
Hey,
painting
left it
was
for
up
the
for
Herald.
grabs. It wasn't
Yeah.
marked
The
with the
rest of the
one
stuff
tag,
was,
take it and go. There's no
just,
sticker on it.
yeah,
right? But
just
I
sensitive
know she
stuff.
said something about buying it. And I think
Yeah.
that's what clicked in my head. Like,
Hey,
how are you buying this?
you're so
Just run
funny.
out with it, throw it out the window and catch it at the ground. Like,
You are
but
so funny.
okay.
Speaking of the Herald, though, Kat goes to set up her new goodies in her space. I'm like, ooh, God, I love my job. And who shows up?
Dell with
Dell.
her Wally's chip bag, the food truck.
Wally's
Oh
Chip
my
Other
Truck.
gosh, stop.
mention.
Noah's grandpa?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And Noah's grandpa is Thomas Coyle.
Interesting.
What? Who said that?
I mean, it's the Founding Fathers introduction episode.
Yep.
You never know.
Dang, good job. I spaced out a little bit in this scene. All I
Yeah.
know is that Dell does something nice.
She was like, I'm proud of you.
I'm
And I
proud
was
of
like, well, where's this coming from? Because she's at work working late for the first
you.
time.
She's,
You're doing your job,
Yes, Dell's finally proud of her now. Yeah.
right? I'm
my
proud of you.
daughter went to work.
You put in some hours today.
It took all my
Yeah, proud.
comments and snide remarks, and it finally paid off.
She's
Uh-huh.
finally going to work, everybody.
Mhm. Oh, but she was going to tell her about the proposal not going through. And she keeps that to herself, right? That was her goal of coming over.
Yeah, she was going to tell her about the farm and possibly losing it because of the land. That deal didn't go through from the town council for the expansion or the community-wide farm she wanted to do. And
Mhm.
then finds out that reporter Kat is rewriting the history of the Landry family.
Oh, yes.
And so now she's like, she can't bring herself to tell her that, oh, that's great. You're finally writing about the history of the Landry family and not focusing on the loss of Jacob. Oh, by the way, we're going to lose the farm. She couldn't do that at that moment when she learned what she was
Crazy.
doing. So she just, never mind, never mind. I'll talk to you later. So yeah, I think it was like you're right. It was just really not the time.
Proud of you
Hmm.
for going to work, though.
But she goes back home, right? And she has a little
A
go.
gift for Alice.
Oh, she has a gift for Alice.
Well, importantly though, right before after that, the neighbor pulls up and
Oh,
asks if Dell is home because this is important of what happens at the end of this episode. And talks to Alice, and Alice says, Dell's not here. And he says, well, I want to apologize again. I hope me leasing the land. I heard the deal didn't go through with the town, and I hope you don't lose the farm. I hope Dell finds a way to make it work. And that's the first Alice hears about it, and that's when she decides she's not going to Minneapolis and she's going to stay there and help
staying put.
and try and save the farm. And we do learn that later on in the next couple episodes. She gets Rita in on it, and I guess we'll hit that.
Margarita.
It's to be
Hey,
some fun points on
anyone like
everybody
that?
worrying. What?
Did anyone like that mention of Spencer? That two
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
hussy? Yeah. That's it. That's all I have to
He
say.
loves him
No
I just
mention
laugh.
of Zoe.
He wants to use your ingredients for his cooking after.
exclusively.
Right.
Yeah. I
What
was
would
like,
you have done if she said he was going to a chef's class in Morocco?
You should be.
then
It's where
for some
everyone.
reason that makes me just drop my theory and I'm like, okay, the writer's just like Morocco.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That'd
there's
have
no
been too
way
much.
these three.
Yeah.
I
But then Dell gives Alice
the book,
The
a
book,
sequel,
part two.
Through the
which
Looking
we know
Glass.
where that actually comes from.
Hmm.
That book was owned by her man, Colton.
Mm.
And
It's
what's
a
it
secret
saying?
message. Pour some wine on it.
Right. Actually, it was, yeah.
Which one?
Did
Wasn't
Colton
there
give the
the one
books
with
to Evie
blue?
or the other way around?
Colton
She,
gave Evie the book.
I thought she gave it to him.
And then
Colton
he
wrote,
said, you hold on to one and I hold on to one.
Colton wrote the message
He wrote the message.
Yeah.
He has
and
him
gave it
back.
back to her. Is it like a best friend bracelet?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
But that is the book.
that's the book.
that's the book.
Hmm.
Yeah, so then the episode starts to wind down. Alice is not going anywhere for the summer. She's staying put. Elliot throws another temper tantrum and just lets Kat have it.
I
Mm,
gotta, once again, defend Elliot. And, they talk about, she's like, Kat yells at Elliot and says, you lied to me and this and that. And he says, well, you lied to me. She says, no, I didn't. But in fact, she did because she said that she didn't lie to him because at the time she told the truth. And then afterwards, these things happened.
mm,
But when they were at Lingermore, after she had already gone back, and she sees Elliot, and he said, "Where have you been?" She goes, "Oh, I was working on a story somewhere in a different town or
Girl, we
something."
know you don't work.
So she lied to him flat
because you
out
put
right
in
there,
one late shift.
and he already knows because Alice told him.
Was
Mhm.
she covering because she was in public and already has the estate leader on her back for being the mysterious woman in this picture painted in 1814?
Mm.
She's trying
I'm
to keep
going
a
to
low
change your name
profile, son.
to Mister Grabbing at Straws.
There is some betrayal there for sure.
Yeah, I
Totally.
mean, I just thought you hypocrite. Don't say you weren't lying and that he's the only liar here. You were lying too. This is a
Right.
two-way street between you two.
Okay, but like there's a different tone to Elliot's lying than Kat's.
There is.
You know?
I don't think Elliot's is as much.
Elliot's feels like malicious.
It does?
It does. Like you never told me that Alice came back multiple times.
Well,
He's like,
the
yeah,
one time, like the one he was reading about in the journal, it almost was like he
Yeah.
was like he didn't remember that. Like he was
because there was a blank
surprised
page
it happened.
separating them. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Um, and if he didn't tell her, hey, guess what? In 2001, Alice comes back and I say hi to her for 5 minutes. By not telling Kat that, is that a lie?
Nobody knows that she came back to Elliot doesn't know that she was at Lingermore.
Oh, you know who does? Nick. They see each other through that
Yeah.
wall, right? Is that no, is that the Halloween party? When is she dressed up like a cat or something? Doesn't she have ears on? This is
Yeah.
another day they see each other through a glass wall.
Oh, that's Lingermore, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that was the Linger Mark party.
Or is it the mask? Yeah,
It was a,
that
That's it.
masquerade thing.
yeah, the
Yes.
Like
masquerade
she's
mask.
disguised and he's like, and then he goes to follow her and she's gone and
Right.
disappears. Okay.
Because we know
But
Kat doesn't see her again.
Cat
No.
doesn't. And then Elliot has to
She's
know,
not gonna go to this big old party and not see anybody.
right? She has to have some kind of scene. But yeah, I don't
So
know.
yeah, they get into it, him and Kat, and he makes Kat pretty upset. And she looks at him and grits her teeth. And after he says, "You ruin everything," ouch.
Ooh, this is one of my favorite quotes.
And then you also like are responsible for the death of your dad.
Oh, that was kind of hard to take when
Ouch.
he was like, You want to know why I went to Mexico? Because I was so mad realizing you are the reason why he's not here. And I was like, again, that was a hurtful Elliot thing of just like, we didn't know this. It's just coming out in this desperate moment. Like that would really sting and like
Yeah.
isn't fair.
That's
That
what
would
I'm
be
saying.
so
Like
sad.
the malicious, like there's the intent to hurt
Yeah. And
with
it's
his
like
actions.
because he's already been so hurt and feels like you ruined my life. So now I have to like kind of do
Hurt
something
people,
back.
hurt
He doesn't
people.
mean to, but he still is because it's like you have to know no one is ever going to feel worse about this than Kat.
Hmm.
Don't make it worse just because you're hurt too. Like you can take your space and cope with it, but like don't come back after that and
Yeah.
deliver it that way. Like
Yeah,
that.
he's obviously lashing out,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but I mean,
Things are fair on both sides in some way.
it's taken to this point for him to lash out.
Yeah. Touche.
And I know I'm really coming off as defending the Elliot in this episode, but
That's good to defend
um
both sides.
he's he is really lashing out here at the end. I think it's kind of just all built up and just
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and we get to see a little glimpse of Victor in him actually, which
Mm.
when we see how Vic acts coming up, it
Hmm.
kind of boils out a little more in Victor, but um we just
Interesting.
kind of see that a little bit of
Yeah.
vindictiveness, maybe a
Dark side.
little temper, but
Mm-hmm.
he just couldn't hold it anymore.
Yeah.
And
Oh, excuse
and
me.
the things Kat says, um,
Just watch me
yeah,
fix it.
just watch me fix it. Like,
I loved it. I could tell Sven was probably cringing when he heard that. Thomas the Hunter was, sorry. But when she said that, because now watching it back, we know she fixes it. And I was,
Does.
you go, girl. Like everything that unfortunately she drags everyone into and makes such a mess all the time. But she accomplished that goal of
Yeah.
finding her brother and bringing him back. And it's like, no one ever believed you, girl. So, like, good for
Mhm.
you. But it's, I appreciated it differently this time around, knowing the fate and how it all
Yeah.
ends up going.
Can we also talk about her time traveling trench coat?
I was
I wrote that down as
hoping
my
to bring
last
that
note.
up.
She put on her 1814 trench and she's like, I'm off.
I'm dressed as a man.
well, yeah, I mean, Susanna said, "Here, wear this, to help you
It's like her new
fit
uniform.
it."
She's like, I can't leave without it now.
At least it's not. She didn't show up in just her nightgown thing.
It's so funny to me though. She steps out onto the front porch.
Oh, wait, just wait. Spoiler. Wait for a couple episodes when she goes back in those knee-high boots and then try to
I think
dress like a man back then.
the
That's
night dress, the nighty thing, the white whatever that they put her in is the funniest thing to me because it always just screams white witch, first of all, and reminds me that you're always the white witch. But just like her running around in the nighty is so
right.
fun.
But it also makes me want one.
Me too. Can we put those in our Etsy shop? Like, how do we get one?
I want it.
That's so great. Okay.
And then
That's
we're done.
Well, we are done. It finishes on that scene where she does come out of the pond in her trench
In her
coat
trench,
thing,
her traveling trench.
and she hears a boy running through the woods laughing, and she thinks it's Jacob, and she goes running
little
after him.
do we know Jacob ain't no boy, he's a
Right.
man.
Also, is it weird that she continues to call him little Jacob or
Oh,
Yeah,
young
but in her
Jacob?
sleep,
Like,
she calls him Jacob Landry.
but
yeah,
like when she talks to Susanna, she refers to him as like, oh, little Jacob, little Jacob.
Right.
right.
Susanna's probably like,
You talking
But
about a
but
man like
there is a
that?
little Jacob though we learn, but it's not him.
oh,
There is. Remember that the
okay,
uncle or brother or whatever, his
okay,
kids are also on the Landry farm, and one of them is named Jacob.
So
yes.
then they would definitely, if she just said Jacob in her sleep, then she definitely said Jacob Landry in her sleep.
Yeah.
Or else Susanna would go to, oh, little Jacob, because now you keep saying little Jacob. But
Yeah, it is
They're
bizarre that
both
Here's my
she,
Jacob
point.
Landry, though.
What?
They're both Jacob Landry, though.
That's what I was thinking. I was
yeah.
like, did they see him, little Jacob, first in the almanac? And then they're like, oh, let's name this new Jacob in 2000 or whatever. Jacob too, after this, not knowing he's going back. And I don't know.
So Jacob, the lost Jacob, the adult brother that came back, was named after himself, who was named after the other little Jacob.
Right.
Then
My mind is broken.
we need another FBI
And
board for that
plot
one.
twist, the little Jacob is actually Colton
Oh my
and
gosh.
Colton's brother and Sam Bishop.
But remember, it's not his time to go yet.
Samuel Augustine, too. Don't forget about him.
Oh, I do have to say, yeah. Lightning. We didn't talk about him making another appearance.
He does make a brief one. Yep.
And that's it. After Colton's like memory talking about the dirt and stuff.
Oh,
And
nothing like that Landry
that's
soil.
Landry soil, right? That made me mad because I was like they emphasized it. So I was like,
Send
so
me
what are you
some.
growing? But
Send me some.
yeah, I'm still curious about that lightning. He knows something, he's somebody, he's doing something.
Lightning is Sam Bishop.
Right. We said it was his horse, but like,
It is Sam
oh
Bishop.
no, my theory was lightning can time travel and somehow it's her old horse.
Now
Lightning
remember,
is the co-lead character or main character in the spinoff.
Yes.
now
Ran
remember
all the
my
way to North
theory
Carolina to
of
time travel.
remember my theory of lightning traveling
Yeah.
because in season three, spoiler alert, we see Susanna ride in to the Landry farm on a black steed, which looks just like lightning.
I did say that earlier in this episode, I think, when we saw it ride up on the stallion. I was like, it's lightning.
The horse that she rides and rescues Cat and then is in the woods is too brown to be lightning.
Mm.
But the horse that she rides on when they come to repair the Landry farm after the fire, big spoiler, um, is a all black horse. That's why I think it's lightning.
Oh my gosh, it is.
More time traveling animals, please and thank you.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, that does wrap it up for
Uh-huh.
this week.
All right, Sven, what do you got for us for ponder points?
I just got a couple. Um, nothing really big, but I thought it was kind of funny when Dell was talking to Elliot and she was leaving his house and they're standing in their doorway and she's standing right next to the desk, spoiler alert, where that letter that Kat left for her. Remember, and Vic doesn't give it to Dell and it ends up back behind the drawer in that desk.
Yes.
She's standing right next to it. It's like a foot away from her. That letter is
Ooh.
in that desk at that moment with the
Dang.
picture of baby cat and a letter, saying how
Baby
she wants her back
Alice.
in her life and stuff. And that's sitting right there. Oh, and also had a plane ticket. Remember? She brought her a plane ticket to come visit
Yes.
her.
Oh
And
my.
she's so close to it, like right there.
Dang.
The other quick little one I have is the point. They show the point, and I'll show you here. Meow. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will.
Meow.
Meow. Whoa.
Thomas doesn't
Um,
want to go.
Mm-mm.
there we go. So they show the point, general store, 1795, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we think, okay, there's the point. There it is. It's there. And it's stood the test of time since 1795. It's still in the same place, but it's not. I think it moved. Because when they show it from the side, what are you doing? Oh, you're drinking. That looks
Sorry.
great.
Oh no.
When they show it from the side, it's right next to the water. Like it's right
Oh,
on the water. But when they show it in present time and they show that shot down the street on the outside of the point, it's like 3 or 4 blocks away from the water.
Oh yes.
So
Yeah.
either the water
ooh,
rescinded
yes.
back and there's a new shoreline, or they moved the point. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that it was that close.
I'm gonna go with the moving shoreline.
I
Doesn't
would
the
go that too.
shoreline
Over.
usually work inward over time? that much time?
No, the water went down.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Then
Global
Opposite
warming.
drought season. Yeah.
yeah.
Global warming.
And then the other thing I've got, first of all, Kendra, a lot of the theories, or Angry Susie, the theories you brought up in this episode
Angry
could have
Susie.
been Ponder points. There were some
I
good ones
thought
in there.
about that. I didn't know if I was allowed to,
Oh, for
touch
sure. Those were
that
good ones.
territory. I
Yeah.
didn't know. I almost wrote ponder points in my notes, but they
Those,
are, I
those
guess.
were good. The last one I have is when Brady was talking to Alice on the phone and he
Mm.
called her Beta or Beta.
Oh
Beta?
yeah.
Beta? So I'm like, did I hear that right? So I went back and looked and saw it, and I found out what it is. He did call her, he didn't pronounce it beta, but that's how it's spelled, Beta.
I knew
It's a
it.
gender neutral term meaning child and is considered a term of endearment in India, Pakistan, and the surrounding areas.
That's what I
So
assumed.
he used that and they don't really talk about or emphasize it, but he used that term from his heritage as a endearing term to his child. I thought that was
Yeah.
kind of neat.
I love
Oh,
that. I
Hannah.
noticed that too, and I love that it was just kind of a subtle little thing just to add in like some depth and
Yeah. I
sharing a little
I thought it
culture.
was like a nickname or some play on her name or something,
Mm-hmm.
but the T didn't make much sense, and so I looked it up and
I knew you
It.
would. Right when I saw the subtitles bring that up, I was like, Sven's gonna look what that means. I thought exactly like that's
you
what it
know,
means.
but
But
yeah, I thought that was interesting. But
cool.
that's really all I have on this. We already talked about a couple of the other ones that they didn't actually use the song when they could have as the name of the title of the
Yeah.
title of the episode. And
Mm-hmm.
then when they played music on the at the code, I thought for sure they're playing that song.
Right?
But they didn't.
How's it gonna be? Isn't that what it was?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like Third Eye Blind.
So that's all I have for Ponder Points. And like I said, Kendra, great job. You had some good ones.
Thank you.
Mother
Vice versa.
Princess.
I always have like two good things in every episode. The rest of me is just
The rest of you is just getting shot.
Stop. You crushed it in this one.
that was the fourth time. My neck's a little sore.
All right. Well, until next time.
Well,
Mhm.
no, we're not done.
Oh,
What's your favorite
Yeah.
quote?
Oh, I had so many. That's okay. I got shot.
you or your mother.
Mine was actually um, somebody's favorite character, Cyrus Goodwin. I remember the first time I saw this episode, I thought, who's the nervy guy? Who says things like this? But he said, running through my town like that, you must be wanting to see the inside of a jail. And I thought, oh my God, somebody's running? Arrest them now. How dare they? Like, what?
That's
Running through
funny.
my town.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Like,
Mine's definitely you or your mother.
if he saw a cat in the future as she was jogging through the woods all the time, he'd throw a
Right.
fit.
You should see that
Uh-huh.
girl's Brooks.
He'd
The
send,
Paramore.
he'd send Thomas out there to shoot her again,
Oh no. Oh
but that
no.
was I mean we hit on all the other quotes I had,
Yeah,
but that one just sticks out to me because come on, dude.
right. The That's okay. I got shot. Best delivery.
Oh, it's okay.
That was the best delivery of
Loved
for
Dell,
sure.
her newspaper editor. Communication is not her strong point. She always has to have one. Um, One that we didn't talk about was just kind of like light but funny. Elliot in the beginning, and he's like, "You and your mom jumped in the pond and things went south. Shocker!" And I was like,
Yeah,
that
that was
one
pretty
got
good.
me. But
Not
my
your
favorite one
mom.
overall, I think, was the serious one. You just watch me fix it. Just knowing, watching it back this time around, it meant so much more than the first time I saw it because I know she fixed it. And I'm
Yeah.
proud of her for that. Just like Dell, I'm proud of you for working a night shift and for fixing it.
Come into work, girl. I'm so proud of you, Catherine.
Hard worker,
Yeah.
Catherine. That's
And an honorable mention goes to it's an MP3 player. It holds like 25 songs.
I
Like I
love
know
Their
what the point
time.
of that line was, and they were just trying to grab that nostalgic humor,
that.
you know.
Simpler
But
time.
I want an MP3 player now.
that was funny.
Mom probably still has hers.
Mm-hmm.
I
I had
still
one,
have
and
a
I think it could
couple.
hold 30 songs.
Yeah.
And we made a running playlist for her on it.
And we
Mm-hmm.
thought it was amazing that we could do that.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
How little did we know.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see you in 2 Fridays.
Mhm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And until then, stay warm, stay dry out there, and may the pond take you wherever you need to go.
Oh, she's so good at it. Mm-hmm. She got it.
Noodles!
Bye.
Bye.